My brother, how are you?
Hey, I'm okay, man. Yourself?
All good, all good, all good. Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah. No, thanks, Tato. Um,
Meet-
yeah, man. I'm just starting the stream,
Okay.
and just want to check. We should be live now.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not sure. Are the other two designers
they're
joining
gonna
us?
join. I've shared the link with um with them.
Okay,
Um, although I must just check. Let me just check
cool. No,
something.
that's fine. I'll give you a moment just to check with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me just. But I've shared the link with them already, so they should be joining anytime now.
Okay, no, sure, that's fine. Let us give them a minute, and then we'll start. Um, cool.
Should be good. Otherwise, are you good? You had a busy day.
No, it's a bit slow. Yeah, just random meetings here and then a bit of work in between. But yeah, nothing much. Yeah, I think things are gonna get hectic next week definitely. Yeah, so I'm just easing myself into it. Yeah, and yourself?
Yeah, it's been hectic, especially after December. I thought it starts off slow and then you kind of
Yeah,
get into it, and now I'm literally like, what the hell is going on? It's so
yeah,
busy.
yeah.
It's busy.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah. So guys, I see that people who are who have joined us. Please just greet us. Tell us who you are, and tell us the country that you're coming from. Yeah. So just greet us, just so that we can see who's online. I can see, there's about 11 people, who are streaming via LinkedIn, and probably others who are streaming somewhere. So yeah, just greet us, just so that we know who's actually here. Cool, cool. Yeah, I hope you're having an awesome, new year. This is the first session. Yeah, so yeah, I'm very excited. We had NetBank just before we closed, to talk about their design culture, opportunities, etc. And we also had Dan Moore, from the US to talk about design systems. And yeah, he's kicking off a course about design systems. I think on the 13th of Feb, and yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to secure some of the seats, and yeah, we'll let you guys how that goes, and I'm hoping to negotiate some discounts through the channel, and yeah, so that collectively we can get it at a good rate, hopefully, and that shouldn't matter which country, I mean, which company you're working for. And so yeah, anyways, yeah, today we've got Rand Merchant Bank, and I see that Tato, is wearing his theme.
Trying to
you know,
represent.
yeah. You're on point, man. You're on point.
Thank you very much,
Um,
brother.
yeah. So I don't know if the other guys will join us, but yeah, let's see. I want to kick this off, and then once they join, I'll ask them to introduce themselves. So what I'll do is let me just share the screen, from my side, and yeah, just give me a moment. I just want to kick off. There's a particular video that I wanted to play just to buy a bit of time because I want to start like in the next minute or so if they're not here already.
They
But
said they
yeah,
were
let's see.
struggling to join, so don't stress too much. I think we can start in the meantime, and then
Okay, cool. Sure, that's fine. Um, let me just kick off with this, share my screen.
Oh, mama. Ambangala mantendi kunikiona yanam kawalam. Ambangala mantendi kunikiona kawalam sanalam. Unzungafuna kufana nabanye.
So guys, yeah, let me just stop sharing. So yeah, basically, there's a quick announcement that I thought I could make. Some of you might be familiar. We are planning to launch, the beach house around the 17th of May this year, and the plan is to, to give, free accommodation, to those who are sharing their knowledge with us. So we've been having some design knowledge sharing sessions, and in exchange for that, you can get like an awesome, like, a free week accommodation. And yeah, so for those who've presented already, and I've tagged them, and yeah, and then we're gonna have a lot of these, like, design sharing sessions every Thursday at 3 to 4 South African time. So yeah, please reach out to me if you want to present a topic of your choice. And yeah, so I see Calvin Mongi is on online. Hi, Kevin. Great to see you, man, from Nairobi, Kenya. Yeah. So what I want to do is let me just share the Figma file. I hope you can see it. Yeah. So today, as I said, right, we've got Tato Halamono. He's the head of UX design at Rand Merchant Bank. So yeah, his colleagues might join us, but let's see how this goes. But we'll introduce them later. So yeah, I think I want to start off, by asking you, Tato, to introduce yourself, shortly. Today we're going to talk about, the team culture, and to talk about the design opportunities that you guys have, or opportunities that you might have, just so that we understand, the design, opportunities, and how you guys work, etc. So I will take you through some of the questions, and then you can respond. And yeah, so if you're listening, if you're live streaming this, please respond. If you've got a question for Tato, question for Red Merchant Bank, or maybe you've got a question about design related to this topic about the design culture, etc., please, shoot and let us know what you think. And yeah, so I think the first thing is to actually meet Tato. So Tato, I want you to just to tell tell us like who you are. Besides, I think beyond the role that you play at Rand Merchant Bank, I think it would be great just to know, you as a person, what excites you, what interests you, and where are you based, what are you about, and then you can briefly talk about, the job related role that you play at the Rand Merchant Bank.
Yeah, perfect. So like you said, I'm Tato Halamon. Actually, Tato Butumelo Ezekiel Halamono, but Tato is fine. I am a father. I am a husband. So
Mm.
I've got two kids. My son is actually started grade R today, so congratulations to him.
Nice.
And my daughter is 3 years old, so quite a busy house. I love sports. I am a person
Mm.
that loves spending time with my family. I think it's very important. I always want to be very present for them. And yeah, look, I think I might get in trouble for saying this, but I'm a very big Manchester United fan. So on weekends, I'm the one that's watching soccer, probably screaming in frustration more than in jubilation. Yeah, and look, besides obviously design and everything else, I love cars. I love Mercedes-Benz, AMGs. I am a person, like I said, I love sports, so I love most sports: swimming, soccer, cricket, rugby. I could literally spend nights and nights watching that. I am not too much into series and watching TV. I prefer spending my time coding or learning a new skill when I have the opportunity. So one of the things I do is I play around learning how to code apps and websites using Flutter, which is quite awesome. And yeah, I always try give back to the community as well. So in terms of my spirituality, I am a Christian person. I come from a Christian background, go to church every Sunday and every Thursday. I am a part of the band, so I play piano. I'm learning how to play bass and guitar. Those are some of my other niche little things that I like doing. Yeah, and that's a little bit about me.
Sure. No, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. It's great to know, a person holistically, and in design, we used to talk about user-centered design, and now we talk about human-centered design. And that forces us, to think about, people as humans holistically. So yeah, I see that, we've been joined, by Jessica, and I'm seeing, a few people are joining now, and I'm seeing about 18 people online. 18 people online. Hi, Kenilwe. Greetings, compliments of the new season. We've got also Olumide Jagede. Great to see you, man. So yeah, Jessica, you just joined us on time. We're just doing introductions, and so I think it's fair, to move straight to you. So basically, the question is like, who's Jessica? Give us a bit of information about yourself. What are you into? Where are you based? What are your interests? How do you spend time on weekends, etc. And then we'll talk a bit about, what you do at Rand Merchant Bank.
Hi, so thank you for having me. I'm a little bit late. I apologize.
Sure, that's fine.
Gosh, so many questions. I can start with with who I am. So obviously a UX designer at RMB, and I am quite passionate about yoga. So I spend most of my time practicing yoga and also kind of maybe teaching it now and again. So that is the goal, is to teach more. And then also plants. I like indoor plants. I have a lot of them, and I am always just adding to my collection. I just joined when Tato was talking about his interests, and now I seem like a very boring person compared to him. Yes, so that's pretty much it. My life is yoga, and spending time learning more about that and getting into that philosophy. Yes. So that's the one question I heard. Sorry if I missed other.
No, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to answer everything. I think the main point was just to get to understand you guys. And it's not a competition, and it's great that Tato is doing a lot, and and I mean, I don't know much about yoga. I mean, I've done I've attended like a few classes, but what I can pick up is that there's a great connection between yoga and nature. Being a plant lover, I guess that extends your love, and I think also the philosophy behind like yoga and being present and enjoying life and receiving life as it is and all of that stuff. Anyways, great to see you, Jessica. And so I know I was supposed to move to Peggy. Peggy's not here, so what I'll do is actually, let me just go back to sharing the slides. So what I'll do now, okay, I'll just skip that, and then if he happens to join, it's cool, we're easy. And I want us to talk about the culture at Rand Merchant Bank. So guys, please, if you live streaming, please shoot, ask your questions. I'm seeing some compliments about Jessica, about being a plant mom, etc. If you do have questions for the Rand Merchant Bank team, please ask, engage, etc. You can ask anytime, and what I'll do is I'll just choose questions as we go, and they can respond to them. Cool. So yeah, just talk about the culture, and I think it's a great, exciting, company, to be at. And I had to like research a bit about you guys, and I found like some few exciting things that I thought were meant, were worth mentioning, and I'm happy for you guys to elaborate.
Looking forward.
So yeah, the first thing was the talent unlocked. Yeah, I hope this will play.
Hi, my name is Kaufelo. I am a digital artist. I'm currently exploring digital line art, which I create by using templates from my grayscale photography. I draw inspiration from just observing everyday people, how they interact with each other, the things that motivate or move them. Hi, my name is Kaufelo.
People that push themselves.
The amount of training and time that you have to put in, I mean, it's a lot of sacrifice.
I mean, UTCT has always been something that you can do because you've done the hard work leading up to it. And I think it's exactly the same in business.
People that push themselves.
This award seeks to recognize an individual who is not only a role model within their community, but also a thought leader and innovator when it comes to gender mainstreaming issues. It was also really important that their ideas were actionable by a broader audience as well.
So cool, guys. Yeah. Like as I said, I've found like a few things, that emphasize the kind of culture that you guys have, at the Rand Merchant Bank. And yeah, actually, I was quite, impressed, to find, I think someone is trying to join. Just give me a moment. Okay, oh, it's Peggy. Hi, Peggy. How's it?
Good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Apologies. Yeah, just had to take care of something.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, so I'll come back to you now. We just talking about the culture at Rand Merchant Bank, and yeah. So I think after that, I'll just ask you to introduce you, and then we will just carry on.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. No problem.
Sure. Yeah. So I want you guys, I mean, as I was about to say, that I came across like some exciting content, about the activities that you guys sponsor, the trial run, and the arts that you guys are behind, especially supporting women, etc., and also like this, like fearless, like award, etc. Right? I'm quite keen, just to hear if there's anything else that you guys would love to share, in terms of the culture and what you've experienced, how it's like to work there, and what are the kind of like exciting activities that you guys do, right, as a team, design team, or even like as a broader organization.
Yeah. So I'll start first. Look, in terms of R&B and culture, I think it's quite important to make it known that we're a company that appreciates the diversity between the people that work for R&B. And I've experienced that quite a lot. When you walk through the doors at R&B, you're literally seeing a flood of different type of people from different backgrounds that you can, connect with, that you can actually build a relationship with. And I think just the sponsorships for me are just a testament of what happens inside the organization. So I always feel like they are investing in me firstly, but in the things that I'm actually interested in as well, and that make a lot of sense to grow the community and
Yeah.
society larger.
Sorry, Tato, I'm not sure if it's me. Are you guys getting a scratchy? Oh, okay. See, I'm also seeing the same comment from Jessica. Yeah, Jessica, do I sound clear from your side?
Yeah, it's only Tato that sounds a little bit scratchy over there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to soldier on a bit because I thought maybe the problem could come from my side.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but like I don't know, maybe you can just kick yourself out and rejoin. I don't know if maybe if you're running some other programs. I'm just trying to, because you were sounding fine initially when you started.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy for you, Jessica, and also Becky to jump in. While Tato is just trying to log off, and hopefully when you're back, just check if you've got any like maybe applications that are chowing your resources on your machine.
No problem. Maybe I could just take over with the question that you had while Tato just gets back. So yeah, so I started not so long ago, probably March, and I won't lie, the culture is very welcoming. You like the culture around R&B is very, innovative. They've got this welcoming thing where it's like, bring your ideas in, bring it all in, no matter how crazy it is, just bring it in. Let's keep the ideas flowing. Doesn't matter who it's from, where it's coming from. The culture is very open at R&B, and it's very welcoming, especially when it comes from my experience of where I come from. When you enter that place and you have a certain perception of what kind of culture they have, it's a mind shift. Very different, very great. I'm loving it so far. I really love sharing ideas. So the culture is very welcoming. I don't know how Jessica might feel about it, or if she has any comments, but yeah, with my side, I've enjoyed every moment. It's kind of thing where you kind of can't wait for the next ideation or workshop meeting again, because the juices are just flowing. It's just going. Sometimes yes, the juices flow a bit too much, but they flow. And yeah, they flow, and it's quite nice. So I want to say like if you are an innovative individual and you have ideas and you want to streamline them into other people's minds, R&B is the place. They really are open to it. It doesn't matter how crazy it is. R&B, yeah, tops it. I won't lie. Yeah. Jessica, maybe you can add on. I don't know. I'm audible.
You've
you're loud and clear. Yeah.
Okay.
You've said it all pretty much. So definitely the culture. I mean, it's always like Becky said now with these workshops and so on. We have so many of them, and it's sometimes you just it gets to the point where almost every other day you are in a very long workshop with all these people, and it's the same people mostly. So you get to get this kind of like this feel for everyone, and every single person that we work with and that are in these teams are always so welcoming and understanding, and it's they always want to see whatever it is we're doing grow. And I think that is a very important thing, because everyone has an open mind, and whatever gets put down on the table, I know they kind of challenge that and say like, but what about this? What about this? So there's always growth. There's always like Becky said, it's innovation. It's always forward thinking. And I think this team, especially R&B, is they allow for that growth to happen.
Sure, no, thanks. Let's try Tato. I hope you're audible this time. Let's see how it goes. Seeing also a question here from Kenilwe Manganya. She's asking what makes a great team culture. So I'm happy for you, Tato, to share what you had in mind, and to also maybe clap your response to this question as well.
Cool. So it's quite a difficult question. Can you guys hear me, firstly?
Is that Tato speaking? Because your image is like frozen, but we can hear you.
Is it frozen?
Yeah,
Okay,
but it's fine. Like because your audio is audible.
Cool. Perfect. So I think culture, it depends on which way you approach it, because I think people are different, and culture has to embrace the differences of those people. That's the first important thing for me. I think we all come as different individuals from different backgrounds. We have different things that inspire us, different motivations in life. And culture within a team has to embrace those differences. Much like Jess said, she loves yoga and plants and everything in between there. It's one of those things that we have to embrace to ensure that she feels like she's a part of the team. But for me personally, I always think that culture is something that allows you to be yourself at work. It's something that you can't really make in a way. It's almost something that becomes a part of who you are. I mean, you spend almost 8 hours, if not more sometimes, at work. Yeah. And the culture that you build, for me, it speaks to how you conduct yourself. What is it that you want for your team? What are the things that you look for when you wake up in the morning? Do you look forward to going to work? What is it that excites you about work? How do we help you in a stressful situation, for example? What are the different things that make you think that where you are is the best place for you? And I think it's also important to realize that some people may not necessarily feel like R&B is for them. Some people actually, aspire to be at R&B, and it's just the culture inside will differ per bank, per company, per organization. And I just think what's important is that you find the right fit for you, something that resonates with what you believe in, something that a company or an organization that makes sure that they believe in what you believe in as well and want the best for both yourself and the organization. I hope I answered it well.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, thanks. I'm already seeing a response here from Genliwe. Yeah, so yeah, she's clapping for your response.
Thank you.
Sure. No, thanks, guys. Yeah, I think we're all like audible. We can see your face, Tato. All is great, and yeah. So, next question. Let's give this a moment.
You can have one or the other. It's not something that we at R&B like to say. So when faced with the conundrum of net profit or net zero, we say, why not both?
With the right people, it's possible. Commercial success or community success?
We like people who ask that question. Why not both?
Environment or investment? Without diverse talent, why not both?
In this changing business landscape, we find ourselves asking more and more how best to help our clients. Traditional value
or innovative ideas?
And the answer always is, why not both? You can have one.
Yeah. So before we jump into the team structure, right? There are a lot of people that have joined us. They're streaming from the different African countries, and they might necessarily know what Brand Merchant does, what Brand Merchant Bank does. If you guys could just take a brief moment just to explain what are you guys about, and maybe also you can explain where your team fits into the whole structure.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to try and make sure we heard you clearly, but you want to understand where we fit into R&B and what we are about as R&B. Is that correct? Yeah. So let me start with R&B. We're a corporate bank, so we look after corporate and investment banking. We also look at servicing high net worth individuals. So those are people that are very wealthy. And I guess the important thing for us is that what we're trying to do is we're trying to be more than just a bank, more than just someone that keeps your money or services your money. We want to make sure that whatever aspirations and whatever problems arise within your life, whether it's from the context of an organization or a corporate or from a high net worth individual, that we're able to service you correctly. To take it a bit further into what our immediate team does, so the UX team does, we essentially design the interfaces that our employees or our clients interact with on a regular basis. We are the ones that look after the experience, so it could also be non-digital, and that's where our CX counterparts fit in, and we work quite closely with CX as well within this custom experience within our organization. And yeah, we essentially ensure that the digital experience that our users go through is the best one that we can deliver. We are currently looking at, pushing a lot more innovative ideas. So going just beyond doing the traditional things that banks do, but actually ensuring that we ensure that we build innovation into our solutions, ensure that we become more than just a bank that services basic needs. We want to be a part of your lifestyle as an organization or as a corporate as well. And I think that's very important. It's very different from what retail banks do. So we're looking at a lot of bigger transactions that come through. There are many other factors that we consider that you may not necessarily consider when it comes to a retail space. And I think it's quite important from that perspective as well that we mention that. So when you, if you do, and when you do come into an organization like ours, which is corporate focused, the types of problems we solve are actually quite complex. Not to say the retail ones aren't, it's just that ours have a lot more layers involved. And that makes it quite challenging in some respects, but also something that you look forward to, knowing that you're solving a problem for a big organization or corporate, or many corporates for that matter.
Sure. Thanks, Tato. And yeah, so please, guys, Jessica and Becky, yeah, if there's anything that you want to add, please jump in. Let's talk about your team structure. And I know that you've mentioned that your team is fairly new, and I think it's also like worth sharing with us where you are, and also what are your plans. Maybe you're planning to grow your team this year, etc. Maybe you might have like new roles that you want to create, and
Yeah, so definitely they were right. Our team is relatively new, and I say relatively very loosely because for some time we still have had design elements within R&B. But I think a critical thing here is that we're now building an actual R&B design team that focuses on the digital user experience, as well as, I guess, the holistic experience actually. So the way that we're structured is that we've got our head of head of custom experience and design. Her name is Mumbi Odame. And then we've got a head of CX and head of UX. So Shanice Bakas is the head of custom experience, and I'm the head of user experience. And then we've got UX designers that that I work with, and then she's got custom experience designers that we work with. We work very closely, so we actually fall under the same team. The broader structure of R&B is quite flat, which is what I like. So it allows us to actually get information from, or allows us to work with, CEOs of specific divisions. It allows us to get closer to the heart of the problem very quickly. There's not a lot of decision making that needs to go on, or layers of decision making that needs to go on, which works well from our perspective, because when we're trying to deliver a solution rapidly, that structure actually works quite well. So we work on a broad variety of projects. In terms of the plan for the future, it is important to note that obviously as our organization and the demand for designers within the organization grows, we will always be looking to hire designers. I do see that, I think Shanice has already sent, or there's a link for existing roles at R&B. We are strengthening our team. We are ensuring that we can service the needs of business, but most importantly, our clients as well. So that's like just a rough idea of our team. It is quite small. So with our designers, we currently have 4 designers, if I include myself, or 3 other designers. So that's Jessica, Becky, and Valerie, who joined recently. So welcome, Val. And we're looking at growing that quite rapidly and relatively soon as well. So that is the gist of our team. Becky, go ahead, Bex. We can't hear you. I don't know if you're on mute.
Sorry. Let me just. Yeah. Okay. You can speak now. I unmute you.
Can you hear me? All right, cool. Just want to add on to the point that Tato made about the structure of our team. you'll find that like it's kind of a normal structure. You know, you got your designers, you got your leads, and you got your head. But when you're working in the team, you kind of don't feel it. You know, it's not like, oh, I need to go to Tato and sell this idea to him. He's already sold in it. He's with you already in the process. We're all together already within the reviews. He's not disparate. Shoniz is not disparate from the team. Nobody's disparate from the team. We're all actually quite close to one another. There will be actually never a moment where a team lead is actually broken up with information from the colleagues within their team. We're actually all gelled in. So the structure is very beautifully made. And I see a question. Okay, I don't know if who's going to. I'll touch on that one. No problem. Just to end that note, yeah. So you basically don't feel the structure, especially even the people in the higher ups. You know, when it comes to like the head of departments and head of sectors, you actually still don't feel the break. They are quite close when it comes to workshops. So, you know, it's very beautiful that we kind of have a structure like that where there's no friction in a way or a big space. And then just to answer Canelo's question, which tools do you use on a daily basis? So currently we were on Sketch, which is basically the normal tool that every designer uses, but we have moved on to Figma, or we're actually in the process of moving on to Figma. And when it comes to presentations for our stakeholders, we're using InVision, but that will obviously later change, and try use tools within Figma, because we want to keep all our information and all of our tools all in one place instead of using back and forth systems. But it is a process, you know, especially in organizations, you don't just change tools. There's a whole lot of process, especially because we are first rand. So it's not just about one team uses this and one team uses that, or one individual uses this and that. We're all trying to kind of migrate into one system so that we all speak one language and everything is very simple for everybody. So yeah, that's it on my side.
Cool. Sure, thanks. Yeah, so guys, please, you know, jump in. So you've already answered this question, and you know, I was about to ask you guys about, you know, the tools that you're using, and I don't know if there's anything that you guys want to add.
Definitely. So Becky, thanks for that. Yeah, so we did use, or we're still using Sketch while we migrating over. But I think also to make mention that we also use Miro quite a lot, and that is like a bridge between the work that our CX counterparts do with us. So we use Miro a lot. We use the Microsoft suite as well, so PowerPoint, Word, and Excel, depending on what task you're doing. But most of our work definitely is done on a design tool, so probably Figma or Sketch and InVision. So those are the basic tools that we use, or the most frequent tools that we use on a daily basis.
Awesome, thanks. I'm seeing a comment here from Rajiv Misri, as a sex designer joining the R&B team from the 1st of Feb 2023. I find this so valuable, release note. Yeah, I see he's very excited to join, guys.
Yes, and welcome, Rajiv. Can't wait to meet you.
Sure, man. Yeah, so please, Rajesh, if you've got any questions, you know, you still have an opportunity, you know, to join before the 1st. Yeah, and so I'm also seeing a comment here from Joe Malope, responding, saying thanks for the feedback. So yeah, so there was a question, you know, and you know, from Joe asking about was saying that are there any hiring, you know, opportunity? Are there any opportunities, you know, you as a product, you know, design opportunities? And someone else has responded. This is also one of the questions that I've prepared, but we can talk more about that later if there's anything that you guys want to add. Yeah, so moving on, I want you guys to describe a week in the life of a designer at R&B, right? This is a very general question, and I know, you know, on the type of roles, in the design roles that you guys have, you know, you might have like a slightly, you know, week, you know, depending on the role, etc. Yeah, but I'll be happy for you guys to jump on this, you know, maybe between the two of you. You can just like share from your own perspective and add, you know, if there's anything missing.
Jess, you want to go? Jess?
I'm muted though.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me now? All good?
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay, so a week. I think we should take 2 weeks. A lot happens. A lot happens in 2 weeks, and nothing happens in a week.
Yeah.
No, so a week.
As well, you know.
Let's start with a week. So in a week, typically we would have all the stakeholders and a lot of business people in a room together, and we will be doing workshops. And this entails us sitting and listening and trying to empathize and gather information from the stakeholders and the clients and what their problems are, what their pain points are. And through these hour-long sessions, we kind of ask what their process is like and what it is that they would want to see and what we can do to help them in that regard. So it's very important that we do have these sessions with everyone in them, and it just brings so much out because there are so many minds in one room together, and everyone is giving their opinion and their insights, and what you gather from that is usually it's very valuable. And what that enables us to do is then go and look at this data and see how we can then find opportunities and solve these problems that we have identified for them. So that is a basic workshop day. And then what comes after that is mostly you just processing all of these, the data that you got from everyone, going through interviews or analysis, and just synthesizing whatever you have found and observed within these sessions. And then we come up with these problem statements. So what is the problem and how can we solve for this? So this is where we would then, as the UX designers, go and look at this whole, the whole client, the user process, sorry. So how they go from point A to point Z. And in this process, we try to make it as friendly and as easy and as painless as possible. So that's also just one small part of it that happens in the back. And then what we then produce for the stakeholders is like a lo-fi or hi-fi wireframes, and this is then what we present to them in, like going through the flows of whatever it is that they need to do. So let's say, for example, like oh gosh, I can't even think of examples. There's a few of them, but let's say a basic, like opening an account. How can we digitize this, and how can this then help these clients? And then this is basically, so this is why I'm saying 2 weeks, because it's a week to get that part done, and then the design comes afterwards. So basically, it's talking to the users and finding those pain points and how we can solve for those problems. That's a very long answer.
It's good, Jess. I like it. But just to add on to that, I think some of the other things that we do in the week. So Jess has mentioned a lot of like the technical things. But I find what's also key, and it's something that you also mentioned at the beginning, is the stakeholder engagement. The most important thing for me personally is building relationships, and building relationships the right way with the right people in an organization. Not only to benefit you in terms of actually completing work or anything, but getting to know who you're working with. I found that once you start building those relationships, it makes your life much easier at work. And I'm very fortunate that RMB people are very nice people. They look very serious on the outside, but they're very, very approachable, very, they accept who you are. And I love that about the culture, whoever it is. I've found myself, and I found the fact that you can find yourself as well. And we generally do a lot of stakeholder engagement. We try our best to do user testing really well. I guess what we want to drive is quality as well. So we have a lot of review sessions, both within like the design team as well as the broader business teams. And we want to ensure that, the work that comes out to clients is of good quality, but also, like we always say, innovative. I don't know, Becky, you want to add something?
Nothing much. I think you guys. Oh, can you guys hear me first of all?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing much can add on my side. I think the guys have kind of wrapped it up about how the structure is within the team and the people. I think maybe what I'd like to touch on is the question that came in from Caleb, if that's okay with the team. I'd just like to really answer that one.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, let me
Cool.
bring it up.
Yeah, so Caleb,
Caleb
yeah.
Pillay, yeah, I think he's from APSA. He's one of our regulars. So question is, what would you say separates the R&B team from other teams?
No problem. That name Caleb sounds very, very familiar. I think I know him from somewhere. But yeah, yeah. So what's really different from this team is the amount of IP they have on their customer is quite crazy. What R&B really has over other institutions or teams within the organization is the relationship they have with kind of the persona or the user or the customer. They know these people from a first name basis. They know what they want, and they really try to give them that kind of experience with their money. Just as Tato said, it's not just about holding your money and servicing their money. It's actually about what else can we do over and above, especially with the kind of innovation that we try to push in. So just to answer that one quick and brief, it's just the amount of IP we have over the people that we work with is very vast and high, and we're actually quite close to these individuals. And you'll see that when you're in a workshop, you'll hear that how close they are from these people that you would think that they're best friends and have golf with each other. Probably they do. But yeah, they you can say that, yeah, the information is quite close and the people are quite close. But yeah, I don't know if the other guys want to touch on that one.
Yeah, I think from a design team perspective, it's very difficult to separate ourselves or make ourselves different since we're building. But I think what's key, and actually that probably is the separating factor there, is that we're building a design team. And so this allows us to really take the best from around the world and try and make it work for us. It allows us to also, based on our experience in the past from different design teams, different experiences, we're able to come together and, put our hands together and say, this is something that we want to build for the greater benefit of the team. So, and the organization at large. And I think what's also key is that being a relatively small team and a relatively new team, there's quite a lot of design selling or showcasing the value of design within business that has to happen. And I don't think it's fair that we sweep it under the carpet, because it actually is something that we generally do on a day-to-day basis. But I found that the people within the organization are actually accepting UX quite quickly. And it allows us to also ensure that they see the value. And usually they used to see designers as just the people that do screens, but it's, being invited into ideation sessions for like things that you would have never thought banking would be involved in is some of my highlights that I have done quite a few times in the short amount of time I've been here. So that's quite awesome.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, so there's another question here, but what I'll do is I'll give you guys a bit of time, just to reflect on that. And yeah, I'll just keep it live for now. So let me just take it down for a moment. So I want to ask guys, what design opportunities do you have in your team? And I saw a response via LinkedIn, and I'm not sure if that is something that you want to tackle live, or maybe you want to ask people to reach out to you directly.
Yeah, so I think the best option I would say is that please always consider looking at our R&B, page on LinkedIn where the job posts are, because that is always up to date. The roles within our team fluctuate, firstly. So you might find, depending on the time and whatever is going on within our organization, we may have roles open, and sometimes we may be in a position where we're currently, structuring differently, so there may not be any roles open. But that doesn't necessarily mean that people are not considered. So please don't feel shy to reach out to me or to, look at the job post in any way. And then just to tackle the next question, I think that was from Tabang, if I'm not mistaken, right? The longish question.
Okay, sure. Let me.
Yes, that one. So just to try tackle this one. So yes and no. So, and the reason why I say yes and no, I'm answering the part about the first in terms of resources. I think we are resourced relatively well as a team, I would think. Obviously, within every organization, there are limits to resource. And so I can't say that we've got like, we are unlimited in a way. I do want to say, however, that the customer experience is something that RMB is taking very seriously. And it's not just like from design teams, but it's actually from our CEO, Emery. So from the top right to the bottom, it's taken very seriously. And there is a huge investment in ensuring that we create the right customer experience across the board for our organization and for our clients. And so there is investment. We do research, although that is something that we are still looking at growing. As always, I think, like we said, our team is small, so a lot of the research that we do, well, from a UX perspective, is done primarily by us. And I think as our team grows and as the need increases, we would need to do a lot more UX-specific research. But from a broader perspective of research, we do have data teams. We've got people that look after research. And like I said, because we're building, we're also crafting how or what the type of research that we want within our team as well, right? So that is just the essence of that. So I think RMB has been very generous enough to provide us with resources, but I think it's also important that we know that we are driving for customer experience excellence.
Sure, thanks. Yeah. I have a question here from Sharon Chapko Edge from Nairobi in Kenya. Do you have the UI team and UX team separately, or anyone can do the design and research?
Yeah, okay, so yeah, Bex, you want to go? I would have answered, but it's fine.
Okay, cool, no problem. Can you guys hear me well? Just want to make sure.
Yes.
All right, cool. Just to answer that one is from an RMB perspective, they don't usually hire kind of siloed individuals, someone who specifically does UX or UI. You actually have to kind of come in as kind of full package. Now you need to know how to do your research, know your UX process and know your UI principles, and actually be able to deliver a project end to end, because you're actually a champion of your own projects, so to say. So you're given a project, you run with it from end to end. And what's cool is that just because you hold all the IP and the knowledge of your kind of methodology within the project, we still come together within our reviews and share that amongst the team. So you'll find that I might have a different kind of process of how I do my work as opposed to Jessica and Tato. But when you come back and you bring it together, you can actually pick up new techniques from your colleagues and they can pick up things from you. So we all may be separated within our skill sets, but then when we come back together, it all fleshes back into one. So just to answer that, yeah, 40, there's no silos. It's a full package individual, kind of like a full stack, if you can call it that way. But yeah.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, so let me go back to the prepared questions. So yeah, we mentioned, well, you guys responded to this question, and yeah, so please reach out to Tato and the team. I will share Tato's details. You can reach out to him on LinkedIn, and yeah, I'll share his link. So what qualities must I have to join the squad?
Sure. You know, when I looked at this and when I look at it now, so it actually makes me nervous in a way, because I've always said to myself that I don't ever want to hire someone that's exactly like me, because I'll always be fighting. And I'm and grateful that Jess and Becky are very different from me. Even when we're in the office, I mean, it's actually so fun to have people that are very different from me. But in terms of qualities, we obviously have like technical qualities that a person should have. And then we've got almost like the softer skills and personality qualities that we kind of look out for. And I guess from a technical point of view, we obviously, like Becky mentioned, when we do hire, we generally look for people that are both skilled in UX and UI. So that is one of the key things. It's not I don't want to say it's like a deal breaker per se, but it's ideal for us, given the environment. And then we obviously look for people that can work really well in a team, but also can, manage their time effectively, can, keep to their timelines, pretty much the standard stuff, keeping, in terms of their delivery, consistent and quality delivery of work. And then from a soft side, we always want people that are able to integrate within different spheres, are willing to, push boundaries. I always like people that, are willing to bend the rules and not break them. There's a big difference. And I think bending the rules and making sure that, and I'm talking about design rules, so not like committing crime or anything, just to be clear, but, bending the rules in such a way that, we get the right solution for our clients, or we solve the right problem correctly. And so that is key for me.
So Thato, I'm going to ask Jessica. I'm quite keen to also hear what you have to say, just to add on to what Thato has shared with us.
Oh, sorry, I missed that last part. About what Thato was saying?
Yeah, so we're talking about what qualities must I have to join the squad. So I just wanted you to add your perspective to the question.
Well, one thing that I've found now with so many new people joining us as well, and starting on the team is we get along quite well very quickly, which I find is such a nice dynamic to have. Like I said before as well, everyone is so accepting, and everyone wants to see you grow and also wants to help you. And with new people coming onto the projects I work on, it's very complex and it's a very ongoing process or piece of work. So it's a lot of information to take in. So always getting someone new on there, you can see like it's like a deer caught in the headlights, but it's also so nice to be able to have some space and patience for these people and help them to just grasp what is going on and just be there as well to give advice or support or anything like that. So I think something that Thato said is resonates is definitely soft skills as well. I mean, you need your technical stacks, like the full stack, like Becky said, and be kind of a unicorn of sorts. But no, definitely soft skills. It's just being a good person as well, having patience and compassion and kindness towards someone that's still learning, and towards yourself and others as well. And I guess that's the thing that I really wanted to put in there as well, is it's also who you are as a person.
Thanks. A question from Matthias Avenu. Does someone have to have experience designing fintech products for them to work for R&B?
The quick answer is no. We always prefer people that know some stuff around fintech or banking or in the banking center, just because they will integrate quickly with what we do. But it's not like a necessary requirement.
Okay, sure. No, thanks. Then we're about to finish now. So what's in for me? If I have to join you guys, what perks, what benefits, do I get a MacBook? I don't know, what goodies do I get? But maybe get like a fancy like workspace, delivered to my home address. I'm quite keen just to hear, again, I know your team is relatively new, and these are kind of questions that people often like ask, like nowadays, especially now that we a lot of companies have got like a hybrid setup.
Yeah, so we've got a hybrid setup, like you've said. So we generally at work at least twice a week. And that for me works quite well. And like I said, I've got kids, and it just helps with managing personal life and work life really well. But in terms of perks, obviously banks give relatively similar perks. I think from a team perspective, what we give is our designers use Macs, first of all, so let's leave that out the window. You will get a Mac, don't worry. in terms of a workspace, so our workspaces are quite open. You literally sit wherever you want in the office. There's no like designated seats or anything. And I think it's just also the fact that we are hybrid. So on different days, different teams come in. But you, like we said, you get access to a whole lot of learning opportunities as well, so furthering your studies and all those types of things. There are also, I guess, banking specific benefits that you get as a permanent employee within our team. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to disclose those, but there are banking benefits. I'm sure a lot of people that have worked in banking will know about them. And I think, yeah, like I said, so it's you'll get some benefits. They are quite nice, especially for those that like things like me. They are quite nice. But the more bigger thing for me is when you join a team, always think about yourself and what do you want to bring into the team rather than what you can get out of it.
Sure. No, thanks. I don't know if you want to add something, Jessica and Peggy, and we're about to close in the next minute or so.
I think Tato wrapped that up nicely at the end. It's not about what you can get, it's what you can bring. But what you will get is the latest Mac, latest one. So that's all I can probably say about that. You get the latest Mac. But besides that, anything that you probably think, let me just actually put it into perspective with myself, like what's in it for me and what I got when I arrived was IP. I got way more information than what I thought I'd get into a private sector. It's crazy what you think you'll find. You'll probably think, I'm just going to go there and solve problems. No, you're going to learn more than that. Just to wrap it up there, I don't know what you just think. No suits.
No suits.
Definitely no suits. Funny enough, ask Becky and Jess, when I go to work, I hardly actually dress like this. It's been only fairly recently. I'm actually a guy that wears jeans pretty much every time. I'm probably the most casual dressed person in the whole bank.
Sure.
Jess,
No. You guys pretty much said it all, and you said it so well. So yes.
Yeah. Cool, guys. I just want to say, thanks a lot, for you guys to join us, and it's been a really great session. And we are actually planning to have a big African design conference around June. So I'd love to invite you guys, and maybe we can get a speaker, from the team. And this is like an African, design conference. And we've been having sessions that are being ran by designers from different African countries, and we have these sessions with them, every Thursday at 3 to 4. And you can always pop in, and if you guys want to present, any like topic related to design, it could be about building architecture, maybe car design, fashion design, etc. The main aim is to really to share some inspiration, from like different design principles, so that we can strengthen our knowledge and borrow and steal from other design disciplines. So it's been great, and I'm hope to keep in touch with you guys, and I would love to see how the team grows, and hopefully we can have this session again. So thanks a lot, guys, and thanks to the guys who joined us. I know a lot of you will probably join and stream this later, and so if you do so, you can still ask some questions, I'll be happy to reach out to the team or respond. And so if you've got any interest to join the R&B team, you can reach out to Tato Halamono, and you should be able to see his details. I've added him as a speaker to this event. You can reach out to him directly, and we'll be bringing another company next month, early Feb, I think 1st of Feb. And Heerland is a global design company. They have presence in few countries. And thanks again to the NetBank guys. We had them just before we closed. And again, guys, as I said, there's a lot of design sessions that we've planned, and we want to bring companies like R&B. We want to bring more big companies, especially the ones that have got an African footprint, to socialize their culture, to speak openly about what they do, how they do things, and hopefully, we can all learn and see what we can incorporate in our environment. And so, yeah, possibly if you have an interest, it shouldn't be hard for you to reach out and to understand, what it takes to join a particular company. We want to change things up a bit. We want to kill the need for people to be posting CVs, but to have a more engaging session where people can get to know about the company, so that we can know about R&B and the likes as much as we know about Google, even if you've never applied for a job to them. Cool, guys, thanks a lot, and all the best for 2023. And I'll be interested to see how the team grows, and also I'll be keen to share some of your winnings towards the end of the year. So I'm planning to bring some a few companies that just to share their achievements in their teams, so people can get to understand what designers have delivered, and to also to showcase the contributions that are made by designers from the various companies. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity, and thanks to Becky and Jess for availing your time and for always willing to participate. Thanks again. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Jesse and
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Cheers.